Hello, and welcome to my 50-second video introducing my book Debugging Shakespeare. In the last video we looked at the play As You Like It, where the monologue "All the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players" is introduced by Jack. If we take this literally as far as the bard is concerned, it strongly suggests he had many aliases. I believe one of those aliases was likely Cornelis Jacobszoon, supposedly a Dutch engineer, inventor of the submarine. The Drebbel submarine was reconstructed for the BBC television programme Building the Impossible in 2002. The third version of his submarine had 6 oars and could allegedly carry 16 passengers. Drebbel was clearly way ahead of his time, as he's credited with several other inventions, including a compound microscope, an explosive based on mercury, a chicken incubator, an air conditioning system, as well as a new red dye. He also developed fountains, drained the Cambridge Fens, and even harpsichords that played on solar energy. However, Drebbel was allegedly not born until 1572. An English mathematician known as William Bourne of Gravesend was supposedly born around the year 1535 and invented a submarine in 1578, which was featured in the Canadian TV series The Inventors as the submarine episode.
Jeremy and I are going to bring to life a 400-year-old plan for a submarine, the brainchild of an English inventor named William Bourne.
As far as we know, it has never been built or tested.
For sure, there's some kind of ballast system inside so you can raise and lower this thing in the water.
Right, and some sort of snorkel for air when you're close to the surface.
You know what? I think in a sub, air is good.
Yes, it is.
Although William Bourne never specified the size of his submarine, we've mocked up our own numbers based on a visual scaling of the original drawing. Our recreation will be about 14 feet long, 6 feet wide, and 7 feet deep.
There's a reason that wooden boat building is such a finicky art and takes such craftsmen to pull off. Once we get complex up here, we're going to start tapering narrow strips down to try and really keep a pure form and shape on the submarine.
Yeah.
We've beefed up the structure in here, which will hopefully keep the sub from collapsing like a tin can around
I
us.
hope so, yeah.
Well, a few subtle differences, but I'd say we've captured the essence.
Very minor, man. This is William Bourne's 1578 sub, right? One of the first subs, 10 feet high, 16 feet long.
Exactly, wrapped in the waterproof membrane like the leather.
That's right.
We've got our oars in place here to hopefully move us through the water.
And the only addition we made, really, was these little windows. And that's just so we don't hit a whale or something, right?
It's a nice addition too, but let's get this thing in the water, man.
The Reinventor's reproduction sub itself was not ultimately very successful, but the principle appeared quite sound. William Bourne was instrumental in describing an invention of the instrument maker Humphrey Cole, who devised the ship's log and line, and took commission to build instruments for Leonard Digges and his son Thomas Digges, as well as the privateer Sir Martin Frobisher, who was at one time Vice-Admiral of Francis Drake's raids against the Spanish ports, and was made Commander of the Fleet by Charles Howard, 1st Earl of Nottingham. I believe that William Bourne was the same person as Cornelis Jacobszoon. I also believe that Humphrey Cole was the same as the astronomer and mathematician Thomas Digges, who was born around 1546 and allegedly grew up under the guardianship of John Dee. I also believe that Digges' 2 sons, the colonist Sir Dudley Digges and the poet Leonard Digges, were both the same person. Anne St. Ledger, the wife of Thomas Digges, allegedly remarried to Sir Thomas Russell, the overseer of William Shakespeare's will, after the supposed death of Sir Thomas. But I believe Russell was just another alias name, and so also was Charles Howard. A book called Cornelis Jacobszoon DREBBEL, written by Hubert van Onne and published in 2023, gives a lot of detail about Drebbel, but he still thinks he was born at his stated age, much later than I believe. But he does include many names that match the ones in my own book, who I consider aliases of the bard. Thank you for watching. There will be many more videos like this in the near future. The only way to get a full appreciation of who the bard really was is to buy my book. It is available only on Shopify. Please scan the QR code shown with your mobile and you will have a direct link to Shopify. Thank you.